All right, Shalom. We're the real Hebrew Israelites from the branch of the GMS Indianapolis camp, and we'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushua, Ba'Hashem, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and Shalom to you sincere, hopeful, elect brothers and sisters listening and learning, and to you brothers preaching and teaching this truth through the four corners of the earth. All right, this is Brother Nathan Hardab and Shakia, man. We're just going to come out, just move through the spirit, man. We're talking about, the afflictions we've been going through, man. You get these slumps. Satan will attack you, but, all this shit is going to be over soon, man. We just got to keep enduring. So we're going to start off. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Start at verse 16. It says, "For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day." Oh, Slacky, you're going to read that, Shaki. My bad. Go ahead and read it, Shaki.
2 Corinthians 4 and 16. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day.
Right, because that outward man, that flesh, that's really, like I say, it's a chain of darkness, man. All right, what comes with this flesh is the ways of this world, caring about the bullshit that's happening on this earth like that. We only care about the prophecies of Yahweh Shemel Shah coming to pass, man. All right, because look, here it is. As we're saying, we're ought to be excited in the spirit, man. Getting away from that flesh, man. Because, we go through these afflictions, man. Your woman might leave you. Children maybe not want nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? The job might be on your ass, But guess what? That's all part of the walk, man. Hey, Matthew 7:13 talks about what? Entering in at the straight gate. Mm-hmm. Straights is what? A position of difficulty, man. All right, so we know this walk is going to be hard, man. That's why it talks about what? Counting the cost.
Yep.
All right.
And
go ahead.
To back you up, too, the word faint goes into growing weak.
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to grow, all right, in strength in the spirit. Mm-hmm. Meaning what? You building up the spiritual strength, because in the times we're coming into, we have to be spiritually strong.
Yep.
Hey, when you see the word endure in the scriptures, right? The word endure itself means to make hard.
Yeah.
All right. You gotta be a strong spirited, all right, man of the Lord to endure these times.
Mm-hmm.
These times are not just for no any old man. All right, as some would have you to think. You just you read a few precepts, you eat chicken, and that's it. No, it's a process of building yourself up in the spirit. All right, that's going to propel you to go on through the day of trouble or time of trouble that we're entering into.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then that's powerful, man. Because see what it talks about, what dying daily, right? So we gotta mortify this flesh, kill off this flesh, so what the spirit can live, man. We ain't the old individual that we used to be in the world, man. And then if that old man tries to creep up, man, he's supposed to knock it down. What with the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah, because Yahweh Shemel Shah, that's the foundation of our faith, man. Mm-hmm. All right, that's the names we got to trust in the time of trouble, man. And we get into these, and always the time of trouble is always something so major, like I'm about to get in a crazy ass car accident, or somebody's is robbing the store where I'm at. No, shit, they can come down to. You either, going to get something to eat, or you just going to do this video real quick, through the spirit. We go through these mental battles, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking about the flesh, it's Galatians 5 and 17. It says, "For the flesh lusted against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh." And
so it's at war.
Yeah.
You're at war with yourself. All right. It's your flesh versus the spirit, man. All right, so that's why we got to trust in Yahweh Shemel Shah and move in the ways of the spirit, which is what, sticking to the scriptures. All right, that's what it says. What in Psalms 119 talks about, through thy precepts I get understanding. That way I hate that's why I hate what every false way. All right, so this is our comforter. All right, Yahweh Shemel Shah and His word. Go ahead.
I'm going to read the NLT. It says the sinful nature wants to do evil, which is just the opposite of what the spirit wants. Mm-hmm. And the spirit gives us desires that are the opposite of what the sinful nature desires. Mm-hmm. These two forces are constantly fighting each other, So you are not free to carry out your good intentions.
Yep. See. Now you're being, because like I said, them chains of darkness is that flesh. All right. So that really it prevents you. It can prevent you from what? Excelling in this truth, man. It can prevent you from excelling in the spirit, man. But that's why. But that's what it comes to what? Examining yourself. You got to understand, like, when you're going off, man. And then guess what? Then if you're in the camp yourself, you got brothers that are going to correct you. Get you right in the spirit. Not out of maliciousness, but what? Because they love you. All right? Because that's how we showing that true love. You gonna call your brother out. That's the real love, man. It says what? Open rebuke is better than secret love, man. So, hey, brothers get on you. And hey, it might hurt on the inside and shit. Your spirit, that flesh might creep up like, damn, man, they get on me. But hey, that's okay. But you gotta silence that. You're like, nah, pray to Yahweh Shemashah. Now this is of the spirit, man, because it's lining up with the scriptures.
Yeah. Also, it says rebuke a wise man, he will love thee.
That's it.
So, and also to add to your point, brother, is you have to recognize those things, as far as those fleshly things that can cause you or plaguing you in the spirit, and be able to suppress them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that can come through many things, as far as the tools we've been given. As far as, like, we speak about early, like different kind of fasts.
Yep.
Prayer, of course, that's number one.
Yep.
All right. Maybe more studying, maybe more fellowship with Akim, what have you. But you got to find a way to suppress that lustful, deceitful desires of the flesh. You got your precept, bro?
Romans 8 and verse 6, it says, I'll start at 5. For they that are of the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit.
Right, and you see that, man. That's why us of the hopeful elect, man, we mind the things of the spirit, right? Because what? We're putting off the ways of this world, man. We're not out here committing adultery, man. Whether it be physical, right, somebody's wife, or spiritual, following after these other gods, these philosophies, these different ways. We're actually going against that.
Yep.
All right, which that makes us what? Enemies unto these people, man.
Yeah.
Isaiah
59.
Yep. Con.
He that depart from evil make himself a prey.
Himself a prey, and that's what we're going through. But see, that's how you know if you catch yourself into too much of the flesh, man, that shit will devour you, man. Because the flesh, they once all the going to hang out, drinking all the time, just looking for a good time. That's not balance.
Yep.
We know this walk is a balance. So you're gonna have your ups and you're gonna have your downs in this truth, man. And then you gotta be able to balance it out through the spirit power of Yahweh Shemashah, which like the brother Hardab said, starting off with prayer, and then you do different fasts. You cut yourself off, and that's the fasting. Not only just counts for you cut yourself from food or water. You're afflicting yourself in maybe I ain't gonna play the game anymore for a week or so, or maybe I won't have a beer. Maybe I won't drink some wine.
Even box.
Yeah, even box. Yeah.
Yeah. We all love women, but hey, sometimes I gotta leave this shit alone for a while. This shit is causing me to be too comfortable. I'm not getting what I need to get through the spirit.
Yep, exactly. Yep, and see, that's part of examining yourself, and that way that you see if you be in the faith, man. Because and sometimes you're blind to it. Sometimes that's why you got good brothers that finally be like, oh shit, I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? Then you start to see it, and it starts coming to life where you're like, damn, okay, now you got time to correct yourself. See, that's the beauty. That it's never over until you, how about Shemashah, take your ass up out of here. Yep. So you got time to correct yourself, and like I said, a righteous man, he gonna want to take that rebuke. He gonna love him for it,
Yeah, let the righteous smite me.
Yep.
Then it may go well with me.
Yep.
So that's the righteousness is your Akim.
Mm-hmm.
Your brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in the spirit that's not of this world. The world will fucking praise you in your fucking wickedness and shortcomings or downfalls that you may look at. It's something that's weighing you down, but the world will teach you how to correct it.
Yep.
The world will teach you how to get through it or over that hump.
Yep.
They'll say, man, you all right, man, you cool, man. Hey, in the faith, hey, well, this is what I did to get over it. Maybe you should try this.
Yep.
I prayed, I did this, I fast, I did this, I didn't touch my woman. I suffered time spending with my kids and put that time to put them with the Akim.
Yep.
Do more work. Do more videos.
Yep.
And shit like that. You'll get a backlash as far as the flesh, as far as your woman and shit. But hey, in the spirit, hey, you get an increase.
That's it. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey man, you fucking woman she gonna bitch up and be jealous of you putting more time into this truth.
Mm-hmm.
This truth is like a woman. That's why King Solomon spoke about wisdom like a woman.
Yep.
And this is really your first love.
Yeah, Sophia. You know what I'm
Sophia.
saying?
You know, and it's just like, a first love, you always incline to her.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever come after that gets come after that.
Mm-hmm.
So your woman, she in the flesh thinking, and she like, man, I should be first. No, the truth come first.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
And that's why, like I said, when you're going through these, we going through them trials and tribulations, sometimes you're like, damn, so your flesh reach out for that comfort zone.
Okay.
So now you're doing too much bullshit. You playing, like I said, you playing the game too much. You drinking too much. You doing everything but your first love. That's why you end up suffering even more.
Yep.
You know. So that's the main thing. Like, man, we just that's why you got to stay prayed up, stay in the spirit to deny the flesh. Oh, you had more on that, right, Shaka?
Yep.
Yeah, kind of read it from the top, Bubba Show.
Romans 8:5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
And you see that in the world.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you see 2/3 of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. They're all just fleshites. All right, they're not looking to please Yahweh Shemel Shah. They don't want to understand the name.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to repent. All right, they're happy in their wickedness, man.
Okay.
Jacob be like, "Nah, I ain't no Hebrew Israelite. I'm just black." Well, yeah, you are void of light. Yeah, you ain't not following the Lord, man. But see, all those people are gonna eat that, man. Go ahead.
It says, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit.
Yep.
For to be carnally minded is death.
Yep. To be carnally minded is death, and then what you see is, I've seen here recently, like Jake on social media would be like, man, all this marching and stuff, that shit ain't working, which that's true, because they're coming in the wrong way. See, Yahweh Shemel Shah has a certain way. And, Yahweh Shah is our Redeemer. Nobody else is going to be able to save us but Yahweh Shah. And, but Jake is on this, we just got to militarize up and take back. Nothing's been taken without blood. You know what I'm saying? That's true. Blood comes with it, but we're waiting on Yahweh Shemel Shah to come back and lay a recompense, man. We're gonna wait till he rises up to the prey. But Jake gets all carnal and shit. I got 1,000 guns. I wish somebody would. Like that dude, the Black Rambo.
Oh yeah.
Jay, he think he cool.
Yeah.
He think he'll gun some shit down. And there's no doubt he might, but that ain't gonna be your savior. You ain't able to gun down a nuke, man. Okay, go ahead.
Well, Jake trying to take on Esau's blessing.
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
Yep.
Esau's blessings for Esau.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob's blessings for Jacob.
Yeah.
And we can't outdo or outshine Esau in his blessing.
Yep.
That's why no matter what, how many Jakes can shoot guns in the military? Well, the one Jake with the dreads, the fucking he's the best
sniper. Yep.
But guess what? Esau's superior to him. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, it's an Edomite in that motherfucking military that can outsnipe him.
Yep.
Now, because he's not recorded, doesn't mean he can't outsnipe him.
Mm-hmm.
Because why? That's Esau's blessing.
Yep.
Esau got fucking snipers that can probably shoot themselves.
Right.
By remote fucking, buttons and all kind of shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So he don't have to be there, physically present.
Yep.
Because why? That's his blessing. He get on to the sword.
Yep.
A motherfucking snipe you from a fucking, you never know, man, fucking drone.
Right. Yeah.
So at the beginning of the day, that's Esau's blessing. Mm-hmm. That's why he's able to wield the sword, all right, how he wanted to do it.
Yep. You read that again, Shaka?
Romans 8:6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Right, yeah, because if you're working straight off the flesh, being a carnal minded, man, that's death. Because like the brother Ardab was going to, Jake trying to tap into the blessing of Esau's weaponry, man. And, you got Jake like Rick Ross. Oh, I'm building me an underground bunker. Yeah, okay, yeah, and a place is getting ready to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. You building in the wrong spot, man.
A great example is King David.
Yeah.
You think King David was just a normal man? He was able to kill tens of thousands?
Mm-hmm. Right.
No, it obviously took spiritual power on a level to kill tens of thousands.
Mm-hmm. And look, but even with that, mighty King David, guess what? He knew when to flee and everything. He didn't just be puffed up and like, look, see, I can just slaughter people. No, man. Use wisdom, the wisdom and understanding of the Lord, man.
He reverenced the Lord at all times too.
Exactly. All right. So
by thee I have ran through a troop.
Mm-hmm. See, kind.
You know.
Yep. And that's the main thing, right? Because like I said, Jake want to man these cardinal means, man. Y'all not realize, man, Yahweh Shem Shai created all this stuff, man.
Yep.
You know, so we ought to worship them. See, Jake likes to worship the creation more than the creator. Mm-hmm. All right, so, you know, go ahead.
It says, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh Shem Shai.
Yes, it's an enemy mindset. It's an adversary, right? All right, because like Paul said, and in this flesh knoweth no good thing.
Yeah,
dwelleth no good thing, man. All right, that's why we need saved, and we'll tell you first and foremost, like we ain't perfect, but we're just striving. All right, we're rehearsing the righteous acts, and we're praying to be saved. We want to be perfect for the Lord, man. We want to stop going off. All right, we want our minds to be 100% clear and free from all the madness, man.
Okay.
You know, because that's another thing, too. Like I said, the plague of the mind, the heart, man.
Yeah.
What said, the heart is deceitful.
Above all things.
We're desperately wicked. Who can know it? You know? So we got a battle. That's a battle within itself, man.
The mortal thoughts, what's Psalm 2, 3, is it? The mortal thoughts press it down the soul.
Yep.
The spirit.
Yep. And so that's why it's like important too. You got brothers, man. You talk to them. You stay watching videos. Like I say, you just maintaining to stay in the spirit, man.
God.
You know, because if you sit, look what it say in the world with an idle mind is the devil's workshop. You know, so you just sitting there in your feelings. You know, you're going through shit. You might take some financial L's or. It can be something physical. You just be like, damn, man, I can't do this and that, whatever. You start getting in that shit, and then all of a sudden you falling off. You're like, oh, shit. You know? But then you got to be able to snap back into it. Because we're going to have, like I said, you're going to have ups and downs, and then the Lord always gives you that upgrade, too. When you go through some heavy shit, you got to know in your mind, like, shit, once I get through this, I'm going to be stronger than ever.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what happens. Go ahead.
It says... Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh Shem Shai, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh Shem Shai, neither indeed can be.
Right. Look, it's not holy. It's in the wrong fashion. It's separate from Yahweh Shem Shai. It's of the world. Remember, it says if you were of the world will love its own, man. So when you traveling and moving through on the flesh, man, yeah, people are gonna fuck with you. You know, they're gonna be like, yeah, come back to our side. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got a friend that'll check up on you every once in the world just to see what you're doing. I'm still saying, okay, talk to you another time, because secretly, man, these people want you back, man. You know, they want. Shocky, you got something to say too?
No, you got it.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, read that again, Bob Shaw.
It says, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh Shem Shai, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh Shem Shai, neither indeed can be.
Yeah, that's right. Like I said, being in these chains of darkness, man. These bodies want to sin, man. This flesh wants to sin. It wants to go against Yahweh Shem Shai. But see, we try to protect ourselves the best way we can with that prayer, because hey, Romans 6:23 says what? The wages of sin is death. All right, so we're battling the fight against, you know, being put to death, and we're all worthy of it. That's why it says what our garments is as filthy rags, man. You know, so
our righteousness is as filthy
rags.
Right,
yeah, kind of our righteousness as filthy rags. So like it. You know, so hey, shit, that's heavy in itself, man. So yeah, we ought to not get puffed up and think we're somebody that we, you know, man, Yahweh Shem Shai put us in this truth, man. You know,
read verse 8.
So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh Shem Shai.
There you go.
Yep.
That's why it says what that he that worship the Most High must worship him in
spirit and in truth. Yep.
See, and this is something that you know, you wacky tacky Christians, man, you get mad at, because you know you don't understand the things of the spirit. That's why, you know, when we break down the scriptures to you, you all butthurt. Taking scriptures at face value.
Mm-hmm.
This is a spiritual book.
Yep.
All right. And if you're not spiritual, which, first of all, if you're the wicked, you ain't gonna understand anyway. Hey, Daniel 12. None of the wicked shall understand. So you're not gonna understand if you're the wicked. Hey, 2/3 of our people ain't gonna understand.
Yep. Yep.
See, this understanding that we get, all right, this knowledge that we have, it starts with the 144,000. Lord willing, we those men. See, we're able to get that song. See, we're able to get the tune of the song and understand the song and know how to play the same tune.
Yep.
Or be on key.
Yep.
With that same tune, right?
Yep.
Because we understand that when we partake of this or partook of this ministry, there's conditions that come along with this ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which if you're done with that, please I'm bring this out real quick.
I got one more.
Okay, bring it out. Bring it out.
It says, verse 9, but ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. If so be that the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua dwell in you. Not if any man have not the spirit of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, he is none of his.
Yeah.
Yep.
What spirit of Yahweh Shai? Prophecy.
That's it.
Prophecy.
Yep.
That's you wacky Christians. You don't understand prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank. Period.
Yep.
We understand prophecy.
Hey, they don't realize them going off is fulfilling prophecy, you know?
Talking shit.
Yeah, because you can do nothing
scorning
against the truth, but for the truth. Yep, so all that scoffing and mocking and shit, and scorning, hey, the water, you proving what the scripture said was going to happen. You know?
There's no lie of the truth.
Yep, exactly. You know, just like they said, they'll revile you, speak evil of you, man. Hey, that's happening, man.
Mm-hmm.
The black Hebrew Israelites. You know, they got all these Christians coming right back around for the 30,000 round of we got to prove they're wrong.
Right. Being confounded.
Yeah, I'm being confounded, man. But see, y'all kicking against the pricks, but where it is, we're actually showing you the true love. We're actually giving it to you straight, no chaser, giving what you need to what? Prevent yourself from what? Being put to death, man. But here it is. Y'all don't want to accept. See, y'all, they hate Yahweh Shem Yahushua, ultimately, you know?
Well, let's call it a spade, man. Fuck you, Christians, man.
Yep.
You're not suffering for righteousness.
Yep.
Let's call it a spade.
God.
We're the ones that are suffering.
Yep.
And what Yahweh Shai said, you should be hated of all men for my name's sake.
That's it.
Blessed are you when you are persecuted.
Mm-hmm.
For righteousness' sake, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not persecuting these fucking Christians.
Nope.
All the wickedness these pastors doing, they're not on front row being persecuted.
Nope.
But it's always the Israelites. The Israelites.
Yep.
So let's show you that we have to have the truth.
Yeah, how many times you done seen a pastor with some type of money scandal doing this or that, and then, you hear about it for a little bit, then just, back to normal, business as usual, you know?
T.D. Jakes or Powell Bottom.
Right. Yep.
They got love for that nigga still.
Still.
But they hate our guts.
Yep.
This man was taken... Anyways.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, the precept you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, then we'll go back.
This is, speaking about suffering, right?
Oh, we done, Shaggy?
Yeah.
Come on.
Speaking about suffering and partaking of this affliction, because Romans 8, it says what? That we're going to be joint heirs if we suffer with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is Hebrews 11 and 23, right? Going to Moses, how he chose to suffer, all right, to do the will of the Lord, right? Versus to live up in Pharaoh's house, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is Hebrews 11 and 23. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High, which is the Israelites, his own people. All right, he was a Levite. Than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. And we take on the same mindset. There's brothers that have made it to these so-called professional platforms, whether it be sports, what have you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brothers in the camp that was actual pro athletes.
Yep.
Basketball, football, boxing, what have you. But guess what? Yahweh Shem Yahushua pulled them brothers out.
Mm-hmm.
To partake in his ministry.
Yep.
Okay? So, and them brothers got beautiful spirits on them because you know why? They understand what they're part of is far greater than the riches they could have obtained on a level, you know what I'm saying, that
Yep.
that, you know, you see these jakes in the world, they got hundreds of millions of dollars. Right?
Yep.
They was franchise players, whatever.
Yep.
Big time comedians, what have you.
Yep.
See? But to choose to suffer, all right, to do the will of the Lord, and suffer with your people that believe as well.
Yep.
Because we're the household of faith.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a mighty thing to do. We're up against the faithless Israelites, which is, you know, the faithless of our people.
Yep.
Then we up against these heathen. So we're on two fronts fighting spiritually in the war, fighting against, you know, these wicked Israelites and then the wicked. All right.
Then yourself too.
Yeah, you say that too.
Yep.
When you first come to this truth, you know, you got to purge off the world. And you may have a little feelings and shit like, man, you know, you have, you know, your loved ones, you kind of care about them and shit. But you come to realization like, man, look, this ain't meant for them.
Yep.
I should do that, you know.
Yep.
Man, you know, why you choose? No, man, it's meant for you.
Yeah, why don't you get it? Well, it was because it was made for you to know the mysteries.
I was a spirit, bro. But to them, it's not given.
To them, it's not given.
You know what I mean?
Just like Elder Ayash brought out last Wednesday, I believe. He was like, "Cause even when we're speaking and making plain upon tables, it's like speaking parables to these people. They just can't understand it."
That's the Lord giving the spirit of slumber.
Yep.
Eyes that cannot see and ears that cannot hear.
That's right.
So and it's something not to get mad at. You first come in, you get mad. You know, you're pissed off.
Yep.
Fucking nigga.
Yep.
Slick head nigga.
Right.
But the more you're in this ministry, you be like, man, you know what? It just ain't that lot.
Yep.
You know? It says, verse 26, esteeming the reproach of Hamashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. And that's like the ultimate thing we're looking for. The reward. That's our salvation. You know? That's a hell of a reward on this side, because we know that Yahweh Bashim Mashiach going to destroy this place.
Yeah.
This is Babylon the Great. So the great reward is what? That we be part of the elect, and the Lord save us from the destruction, and then we be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven. You know, we're going to receive, you know, crowns and palms in our hands. That's like the ultimate reward. You stood stiffly before all this wickedness, all right, to do the will of the Lord. Ain't nothing mightier than that. If you're an Israelite, you can't go out no mightier than that. You down in this faith, man. That's a fucking mighty thing. Cause your work, you would say they work do follow them, right?
Follow Khan. Yep.
And the Lord ain't gonna forget your labor of love, right? Yep. So that's something that's gonna follow you, man. The Lord's gonna repay you for that. Hey, thou good and well faithful servant, well done.
Yep.
That's something heavy right there. You can hold your head up in the kingdom like, man, you know what? I was fucked up too, but your head gonna be high because why? Ultimately, you was of the elect, and then guess what? When the Lord called, you answered.
Yep.
When the Lord stretched out his hand, you took his hand.
Yep.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
Because most of our people they disregard the hand of the Lord.
You
know?
Yeah, you see it week in and week out. You see the hand of the Lord on the highways and byways, which is what the men he set up, man. Reaching out, trying to get, to repent, come back to the law, statutes, commandments to the best of ability. But hey, guess what? It wasn't for everybody. Set aside and elect.
Verse 27, by faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king. Yeah, fuck Esau. Because Esau the new Pharaoh.
Yep.
Fuck Esau and the society. And the king on high going to destroy you.
That's right.
That's who bring the wrath for real. The wrath you got ain't nothing. Yahushua said, what? Fear him not that can kill the body, but fear him that can kill the body, soul, and spirit in hell, right?
That's right.
That's fear the Most High.
Yep.
Fear the Most High Yahweh. Let him be your dread, right? Don't fear a fucking man that's about to be destroyed. It says, by faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, For he endured and seeing him who is invisible. See?
Yep.
That's why you go into the accounts of 2 Maccabees, and in particular 2 Maccabees 7, where Jacob back then told him, hey, matter of fact, I'll get it, Shalakia. Because though we be persecuted for righteousness' sake, right? And some of us will be put to death for this truth. Mm-hmm. Some of us going to be martyrs. Mm-hmm. You got to glory in that. You have to fucking glory in that.
Yep.
You know? You're down for the Lord, man. The Lord going to raise you up when he come back. Yahweh Shai going to come back and raise you up. You're going to be the first one risen. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yep.
It says 2 Maccabees chapter 7. I'm going to go down to I'll start at verse 31. It says, and thou that hast been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews should not escape the hands of the Most High. Now, who is that? Now, the Maccabees is during the time of the Greeks, which the Edomites ruled as the Greeks. All right, the wicked, first time in power, they ruled as the Greeks, which is who? The Edomites. Okay? They're the ones that's the author of all mischief. See? Through them, which primarily you had the southern kingdom that were suffering or going through the affliction during that time.
Yep.
See? It says, verse 32, for we suffer because of our sins, right? We're being afflicted because of our sins, right? And though the living Lord be angry with us a little while for our chastening and correction, that's what we're going through right now.
Yep.
Yet shall he be at one again with his servants. Because ultimately, what? The Lord going to redeem us. Hey, how about Shema Shah going to redeem us ultimately? So yeah, we may fucking die. You got brothers that die in the faith, whatever. But don't think their death was in vain.
That's right.
You know? It says, verse 34, but thou, O godless man, and of all other most wicked, be not lifted up without a cause, nor puffed up with uncertain hopes, like it. Lift up thy hand against the servants of the Most High. For thou hast not yet escaped the judgment of the Almighty power who seeth all things. See? Mm-hmm. So hey, that's us today.
Yep.
We're suffering all kind of shit. The brethren, the brotherhood is there to help lighten your affliction even.
Mm-hmm. You
may fall short in your bills.
Yep.
The Lord created a welfare system within the brotherhood.
Yep.
They can help one another out. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You may need a place to stay. Brother got extra room. I mean,
yep.
We're all going through our. Hey, Yahweh Shai have a place to lay his head. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So there's many levels and aspects to this affliction we go through. See? It says, verse 36, for our brethren who now have suffered a short pain and are dead under the Most High's covenant of everlasting life, but thou, through the judgment of the Most High, shall receive just punishment for thy pride. So, yeah, at the end of the deal, we're going to suffer right now, but guess what? When Yahweh Shai come back, he's going to raise us up. And then guess what? You Edomites and the rest of you heathen, you're going to suffer because of your pride, all right, and we're going to rule over you.
That's right.
So the affliction we're going through right now is really light.
Yep.
Did we get to that point?
Yeah, we didn't get to
that point.
I was going to bring this quick precepts back up. It's in Galatians 6:2. It says, bear ye one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So, boom.
That's so many levels of that. Bear ye one another's burdens.
Yep.
Brother may need some gas, may get to work. Brother may need some bus fare. However it may be. You suffering that with your brother, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just so that brother can have.
Yep.
Shit. And we all got testimonies of that too.
God.
Brother may be lacking on some shit. Hey, bro, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I got you, bro. You hungry? Come on, you gonna shit. You with me? You gonna eat? Don't worry about it.
Right.
Talking about you ain't got no shekels.
Right. Right.
That's the love we got for one another.
That's
you know
it.
What I mean?
Yeah.
You got it, brother.
Yep. This back to 2 Corinthians 4, verse 17.
Hey, brother, speak, brother. You want that's when the spirit
it says,
say something, brother.
For our light affliction, which is but for a moment.
It's a moment.
Yep.
It seems like a fucking hell of a long time when you're going through it, right? Because with the Hebrews 12.
Yep. Con, think of that.
Remember, can you read that Bible shot Hebrews 12?
Yep.
don't seem to be joyous for the moment. Hey,
But
yo, we be getting our fucking asses handed to us. They be bitching, complaining. It is what it is.
And then we always constantly remind us, like, well, I gotta go through this. that'd be that balance. The flesh would be like, man, fuck, but then that spirit kick in, and you know, it take over. Like, nah, but remember, you gonna go through this. We're gonna be all right. You know, this ain't nothing. If you can go through it, you can get through it. You know.
Yeah, that fucking AWAC spirit come on you.
Yeah.
You ain't like a little bitch.
Right.
Shut up. Take that shit.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, you both y'all like some bitches.
Right.
Yo, we be, hey, man, you in this truth, bro. You gonna be crying and bitches complaining, bro.
Yeah.
Ain't no disrespect. That's the truth.
Yeah, we signed the crying.
You signed the crying, bro. Bring it out, bro, real quick.
Hebrews 12 and verse 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth.
The Lord love your ass. That's why he beating your ass.
Yep.
The Lord beating your ass because he loved you. If he didn't love you, he'd leave your ass fucked up out here.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's raw and uncut. You got it, Hawk.
It says, he scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
Yeah. Gonna get you together. Scourge you with the rod of correction, which is what? Hey, like you said earlier in the thing, your brothers correct you.
Yep.
Maybe doing some shit you ain't supposed to be doing. Hey, you know you ain't supposed to be doing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing this? You supposed to be doing this. All right, come.
Yep.
Look into it. Yeah, you said, you get butthurt at times. That's because you're in this flesh.
Uh-huh.
The simple ass flesh. But look at the message that's coming out.
God.
Take the message in. You know, absorb that. And then see what you can do better. That's a real man of the Lord right there.
Mm-hmm.
See what we can do fucking better. Because we have to do better. Okay?
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says, if ye endure chastening, Yahweh Shem Yahushua dealeth with you as with sons.
Yeah, you endure it, you like in the son unto the Most High. Your ass throwing the towel like a little bitch. You fucking bastard.
Yep.
I'm saying that way because I said that way. Because they ain't no way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking endure it, man.
Yep.
Bros have lost a lot of shit on this road, on this straight path, man. And bros are still going hard. Bros still ain't steady and doing. This path was never meant to be easy.
Nope.
Believe you me, never meant to be easy. Ain't gonna get no easier. Gonna get harder and harder.
Yep.
Because the true testing of our faith ain't even came yet.
Yep.
Which is the time of Jacob's trouble.
Yep.
And that's when you're gonna see who really believe in how about Shem Shai.
Yep.
That's when you're gonna see who can really endure.
Yep.
That severe affliction, the heaviest affliction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You got it.
It says, for what is he whom the Father chasteneth not?
Mm-hmm.
But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons.
Mm-hmm.
Then are you bastards and not sons.
Yep.
All right? And that's plain and to the point. You don't have to break that down.
Yep.
Because why? Simple. If you endure the chastening, which is what? Correction. And we gotta be corrected.
Yep.
You're not fucking perfect.
Nope.
You gotta get corrected. You gotta, tighten up on the shit you need to tighten up on so you can better be fit within the body.
Yep.
You know? It's like you're a carnal body.
Mm-hmm.
You in the gym working out and shit, right? You can't just do fucking upper body.
Right.
You gotta do legs too.
Yep.
The legs gotta be strong too.
Yep.
Then you gotta do some back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then you gotta do some core.
Yep.
You know? That way the whole body be solid.
Yep.
You know? So everything I get worked out and corrected. No, let me get this together. That's what the Lord doing with us. Let me get this together. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the body is sound. It's perfect. It's in unison. It's flowing like a solid river that's flowing.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You got that.
You want to keep on going?
Actually, that was it. Let's go back to that 2 Corinthians 4.
Kind
This
of.
is more than that. 2 Corinthians 4:17.
Yeah, good. Just back to go ahead with your precept.
Romans 8:18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
Ooh,
exactly.
Speak on that.
Yeah, bring it out.
So the sufferings that we go through in this time right now, little shit, just like I said, light afflictions, not having a woman, all right, not being able to get no box at when you want, Guess what? It's all beneficial. You gotta be spiritually minded. Guess what? The Lord, the Lord is making you suffer, for spiritual reasons. You might not know at that exact time, but guess what? It's making you better in the spirit.
Right. You always reap the benefits when it's over. And then you start to think about like how it went down and what happened. Like, damn, really, the Lord was with me. You really start looking at the scenario. Obviously, you in that furnace at first. You're like, oh shit, it's hot in this motherfucker. But then the Lord, make a way and escape. Right.
Read that verse again, Bible Sean.
Romans 8:18. For I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
Yeah, because you know what, the Lord's gonna give us that kingdom.
Yeah.
The kingdom of heaven is for us. That's the glory right there. We can't glory in this fucking body. This body ain't shit. You glory doing the will of the Lord. The ultimate glory is we're gonna be perfect. We're gonna be looked on. The Lord gonna look down on us with joy. Because right now, we in this filthy ass body. But when we get that immortal body, we're programmed to be perfect.
Yep.
The Lord gonna have really joy in us then.
Yep.
We're gonna be in the kingdom, rule of our oppressors and the other heathen.
Yep.
We're gonna be the fulfillment of the nation being the kings and priests. That's gonna be the fucking beautiful glory moment.
Yep.
Cause why? The Lord is looking down on us with fucking happiness. Like, man, look at my sons.
Yep.
Yep.
So that means Yahweh Shemel Shah is gonna give us everlasting blessings.
Right.
Everlasting joy.
Yep.
That's
beautiful. That was back to 2 Corinthians 4:17. It says, For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Right, that's what we're just basically just going to. Right, that kingdom of heaven, man, it's all gonna be worth it, man. And mind you, the victory is already written. We just gotta go through this shit. That should be a peace of mind too. Like, damn, we already won. We just gotta go through it. We gotta go through the movie. We know how the end gonna be. Yeah, go ahead.
Proverbs 20:21. It says, "An inheritance may be gotten hastily at the beginning, but the end thereof shall not be blessed."
See, and that's these people of the world, man. They didn't got their consolation on this way. Like we just talking about the multi-million-dollar athletes and shit. Jake. The Hunterman, Patrick Mahomes, and all them.
Richmond.
Yep, you're right. Exactly. You living good now, quote unquote, but that's all going to dissolve. And it'd be quickly, because this is in a small lifetime. Because mind you, the riches we're about to obtain is forever, eternal, living forever, having dominion over all these nations, man. Having real servant, having real food, man.
Yeah.
The air, the water, man. All right.
Ruling in righteousness.
Yahweh Shemel Shai with us, man. Like he's always been, but like boom, like we're gonna be perfect, man. Made in His image correctly this time.
Perfect.
So that's that far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory than this, man, giving up this little bullshit life we got going, man. Verse 18, it says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal, see? And that's the main thing right here. Look. All this shit, these cars, the money, cars, clothes, and hoes, right? These houses and shit, man. This is for a small time period, man. This shit, especially here in America, this shit's about to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction and concentrated laser beams from the chariots, man. There's gonna be a damn desert here, man, full of desert creatures, man. All right, that's what's coming to this place. All right, so we use stuff. Yeah, okay, if we get a car we like, or we get some shoes or clothes we like, cool. But we already know in the back of our mind, like, okay, this shit's here today, gone tomorrow. And we're okay with that.
The fashion of this world passed away.
Exactly. God.
Because why? You can't take none of this shit with you.
Nope.
And scriptures speak about that in Sirach, about the men that have wealth or riches or whatever, that have substance.
Yep.
Who gonna take it over?